Hi everyone. Hope you're enjoying Digital Edge and all of the exciting content from Similarweb and our partners. My name is Alex Nisenzon, and I lead our data partnerships team.
And I'm Mackenzie Cahill, Senior Director of Solutions. As we all experienced, COVID upended the world in ways previously thought unimaginable. With the pandemic, new digital trends emerged as consumers were forced to stay home and face a new reality. For today's session, we'll be taking you through how some of those COVID trends have evolved and what that means for companies wanting to win in the digital post-COVID world.
Let's start with retail. During COVID, mass market retailers saw major booms to their e-commerce business. Everything was being bought online, and the retailers with attractive assortment and fulfillment options capitalized on the demand. But what we are seeing is that growth in site traffic proved to be unsustainable. Now that consumers are more comfortable returning to brick and mortar stores, visits to retailer websites are down year over year, with Walmart down 3%, Target down 13%, and Best Buy down almost 22%.
As we take a deeper lens on specific category performance, we see mixed results. Consumable goods are continuing to see growth, demonstrating consumer willingness to shop online for things like groceries is a trend that's here to stay. Target saw a growth of 12% in revenue for grocery items purchased online and 7% growth for household essentials, while durable categories, especially ones like electronics and video games, are decreasing.
Out of necessity, during COVID, consumers demonstrated a willingness to shop for more premium categories online. Those that were traditionally considered specialty goods, like furniture and jewelry, saw massive growth last year. And this affinity towards premium products still continues. In the shampoo category on Amazon, 22% of sales are for products priced over $25, almost doubling from only 12% back in 2020. And this is true across categories, where even things like projectors have seen five-fold increase in average purchase price.
This is faring well for retailers like Amazon. Despite site visits down 6% in Q1 and product views down 14%, revenue in the same period grew 23%. But the other major factor at play here is persistent supply chain challenges. One that's gotten a lot of press lately is the situation with baby formula, as mothers are struggling to get a hold of sufficient supply for their needs. This is demonstrated by an increase in product views, but a decrease in conversion as products are just out of stock. And those that you can buy are going to be more expensive. The average price of baby formula on Amazon is currently $70 compared to $56 just a year ago.
Now let's look at another industry post-COVID, healthcare. Before you used to search for a physician, call their office to set an appointment, go to the doctor, get your prescription, drop it off at the pharmacy, and then pick it up once they called and said it was ready. It almost sounds crazy when you think about it. And now that entire experience can happen online. Telehealth has taken off to the races. Originally thought to be another COVID trend, analysts now agree it's here to stay. Sesame Care alone is up over 1,300% from 2019. And whether it comes to the entire end-to-end process happening online or just receiving your test results via email, the traditional experience has completely evolved. Online portals and platforms like Spruce Health have revolutionized the doctor-patient relationship.
And it's not just the service aspect that's been upended, but also in how consumers want to receive their health products. Even through August of last year, there was an even proportion of sales in Walmart's health department that were picked up in store versus delivered to homes. The two started diverging, and now home delivery reigns supreme. Financial services is another industry where we see COVID-induced trends continuing. Most of you remember the Wall Street Bets fiasco of early last year, where a subreddit dedicated to retail trading revitalized dying stocks like GameStop and AMC, and with it almost took down one of the largest hedge funds in the world.
Not just an anomalous event, what transpired was a clear indicator of a broader real trend of consumers taking greater independent ownership of their finances, made possible by the accessibility to apps like Robinhood and Coinbase, which continue to see strong install growth. Consumers recognize they no longer need to go to a broker or asset manager and can easily make their own investment decisions anywhere and any time, for better or worse, and this isn't slowing down.
Purchasing a home is an even more extreme example of the permanence of COVID digitization, with traffic up to the top real estate sites outpacing the growth of top websites across all industries. Historically, only research for real estate was done online, but now almost every part of the home buying process has been disrupted. Online 3D tours, remote notarization, online document preparation and e-signing, home inspection helpers, digital escrow and closings, everything is done from the comfort of your home, and this trend is here to stay. It's gotten so extreme that as of March, desktop appraisals are now officially supported by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and iBuyers, instant home buying and selling platforms, have seen tremendous growth with Opendoor and Redfin up 69% and 166% year over year, respectively.
And the picture of the auto industry looks quite similar, with its own post-COVID trends accelerating exponentially. Physical dealerships play less of a role in purchasing a car, with consumers preferring to go to brand or aggregator websites and configure their car of choice instead. Visits to Ford.com's car configurator pages are up 311% since July of 2020, while visits to Ford dealer locator pages are down 34% over the same period. More recently, we are seeing the trend of dealerships being removed from the process altogether. There's been an explosion in popularity of sites like Carvana and Vroom that provide the end-to-end experience from research all the way to delivering the car to your house. These sites are up over 320% in traffic over the last 2 years alone. This doesn't just speak to the success of these new business models, but also a shift in the mindset of consumers who no longer see a value in dealerships and salespeople in the vehicle acquisition process.
Traditional automakers are taking notice and already have plans to adapt. Ford CEO Jim Farley was quoted just last week on the company's intent to go direct to consumers online, starting with some of their new electric vehicles. And he even attributed some of his inspiration to the success seen by Tesla, who adopted this strategy even earlier.
So what do all of these trends mean for the future? What do brands need to do to win in the new digital landscape? Is everything going direct to consumer? Well, not really. Traditional CPGs are struggling to realize their homegrown direct-to-consumer ambitions. Over the past couple of years, we've seen an emergence in companies like Procter & Gamble and Unilever, creating direct-to-consumer brands to take a larger share of sales, revenue, and reduce their dependence on retail partners. However, in practice, this hasn't really played out how they had hoped. Only some exceptional brands have persevered, and most have fallen flat. Year over year, traffic to their websites is largely down, and driving existing demand is increasingly reliant on paid traffic. Given the associated increased customer acquisition costs, we feel this approach is simply unsustainable. If we look at the example of Snacks.com, launched by PepsiCo in May of 2020, we see traffic is down almost 75% year over year. Outside of a few spikes driven by PR pushes, it seems the traction just isn't there.
Instead, in order to win, CPGs will need to figure out how to play nice with their retail partners. But this isn't always straightforward. Let's take the example of Nike on Amazon. After a long, uneasy relationship with Amazon, Nike announced in November 2019 that they would pull the plug on direct sales on the platform. The brand had long been plagued by concerns of counterfeiting and gray market sales, which Amazon was unable to mitigate, as well as diluting brand equity given the free-for-all nature of Amazon's marketplace. But even in Q4 2021, almost a year after the brand had removed almost nearly every first-party product from the platform, and 2 years after the initial announcement, sales of Nike products on Amazon were down just 6% from 2019, highlighting the futility of breaking up with the world's largest retailer, where lost sales might just shift to 3P sellers.
Brands will require differentiated strategies to drive scale and optimize across sales channels. Liquid IV is a brand we've seen do this exceptionally well. As one of the fastest growing CPG digital native brands in 2021, Liquid IV's site traffic increased 80% over the previous year. As the brand has grown, they've adopted a savvy retail strategy, expanding to Walmart and Target without cannibalizing their direct-to-consumer business. This is done in part by differentiating assortment across channels, offering smaller packs designed for new customers and retailers, with the larger 16-count packs available only via direct-to-consumer. They also offer a build-your-own bundle exclusive to the brand website. Through these decisions, Liquid IV has managed to maintain a direct-to-consumer site with distinct value propositions in assortment and experience while rapidly accelerating their retail business.
Brands across all categories will also need to figure out how to effectively leverage social platforms to their advantage. Social commerce is here to stay and will only continue growing as consumers, and especially younger generations, spend more and more time on social platforms. Statista estimates that social commerce revenue will exceed $3.3 trillion annually by 2028, and the current winning platform seems to be TikTok, with users spending an average of 46 hours per month consuming content there. This is more than double Facebook, which is the next closest at an average of 19 hours per month. TikTok has also surpassed Instagram and Snapchat in monthly active users in the US, quite an impressive feat considering it launched years after the others.
But does social exposure actually translate to sales? In our analysis, 9 out of the 10 products in select subcategories showed a positive relationship between TikTok viral exposure and Amazon revenue. Aquaphor is a great example of a brand successfully leveraging TikTok. After the December 2020 viral video of Maria Rios, revenue increased 21% month over month, while category revenue only grew 7% month over month. There was also a 70% month-over-month spike for Aquaphor healing ointment searches following her video, with steep year-over-year growth exceeding seasonal expectations.
The last trend we'll be highlighting today is the emergence of blended experiences, powered by new advancements in AR and VR technologies. We believe these new digital experiences will only transcend and overlay all historically physical ones until the optimal blend is reached. Let's dive in.
I'm sure you've all heard the terms VR and metaverse at some point over the past 12 months. It's been impossible to avoid them. But what's amazing is the variety of ways businesses are leveraging the new technology to enhance the customer experience. Whether it's a prototyping new hardware features, making real-world activities more engaging with AR, or even preparing those with dangerous jobs for real-world situations, everyone seems to be finding an application for the new developments, demonstrating it's more than just a fad.
The hype is certainly real. While there's been interest in VR headset equipment for several years now, with consumers searching for and about the products online, we are finally seeing purchases catch up to interest. There's been an explosion of sales of VR headsets since mid-last year, reaching 267 million in Q4 on Amazon alone. We don't expect this to slow down anytime soon, especially with the continued innovation in more powerful and ergonomic devices.
And one company in particular has been capitalizing on this trend, Meta. Its Oculus headsets captured 83% of category revenue in Q4 of 2021, with all competitor brands combined capturing the remaining 17%. While we are confident the Oculus product lines will continue growing and improving, especially with Zuckerberg's vision of the metaverse future, we expect the landscape will change dramatically as Apple releases its first headset next year. One of the many things Apple has done so well historically is facilitating a development community around its products and software. And with their VR release, we should see a massive growth in more varied and distinct applications of the technology, further propelling the industry forward.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of Digital Edge.